Well, what do you know? It turns out the media lied again. The narrative that Christmas parade killer Darrell Edward Brooks was just fleeing a knife fight when he plowed through dozens of people was complete bunk.
I want to dispel some rumors. There's no pursuit that led up to this incident.
The affidavit has now been released, containing on-the-ground testimony from eyewitnesses and police. They say Brooks, quote, appeared to rapidly accelerate and, quote, took an abrupt left turn into the crowd of parade participants. That this was, quote, an intentional act to strike and hurt as many people as possible, and that the vehicle was observed, quote, to be intentionally moving side to side, striking multiple people. Another eyewitness said the SUV was driving in a zigzag pattern with, quote, a direct intent to hit as many parade participants. As we told you from the beginning, this was a deliberate attack. But the media seems to be afraid of asking the one crucial question. Why did he do it? It was deliberate, intentional homicide. Why? What was the motive? What did he tell the police? It's in Wisconsin, 2 days after the Rittenhouse verdict. The killer is posting on Facebook about the Rittenhouse verdict. He previously posted his support for BLM.
He posted a picture of a fruit bowl arranged to display the letters BLM with a raised fist.
Calls for random attacks on white people and anti-police rap songs where he name drops George Floyd. Do you think any of that could possibly inform the killer's motive? Or did he just randomly, in the spur of the moment, decide to rampage through a crowd of people for no reason whatsoever? One prominent BLM supporter even tacitly embraced the attack as a form of revenge for the Rittenhouse verdict.
This has to do with the verdict. The revolution has started in Wisconsin.
But according to Wikipedia, it was just a car crash. According to CBS News, it was just a parade crash. NBC News is still calling it an accident.
Whether it has anything to do with this accident last night, accident.
Leftist media outlets like the Daily Beast are angry. But not at the killer. No, they're angry at Andy No because he posted screenshots from the killer's Facebook page. Why was it pertinent to troll through Kyle Rittenhouse's social media history over a self-defense incident which had nothing to do with race? But after an incident where a race supremacist deliberately runs over tons of people in a deliberate attack, going through his social media history, oh no, that's the bad faith work of trolls. Imagine if a white supremacist who had advocated violence against black people, who had expressed support for far-right extremist causes, who had name-dropped Dylan Roof or Anders Breivik, had then deliberately ploughed a vehicle through a BLM rally. Do you think the media would be calling it an accident or a car crash? Do you think the authorities would be refusing to divulge any information on a potential political or racial motive? Do you think they'd have largely brushed it under the carpet in the space of 48 hours? No, of course not. They'd be all over it like white on rice. This would be Charlottesville times 100. We'd never hear the end of it. Victims of this horrendous attack, including children, are still dying in hospital. No visit to the victims from Biden, no national mourning, and an increasingly diminished media interest. Kamala Harris visited Jacob Blake in hospital and helped raise bail money for violent criminals. Yet in this case, the White House hasn't even helped promote fundraisers for the victims. Well, I will, and they're in the description below. Darrell Edward Brooks was set free to conduct his rampage thanks to being freed on bond 2 days before for the measly bail sum of $1,000. The district attorney responsible for this suicide policy even previously admitted that it was, quote, guaranteed someone is, quote, going to go out and kill somebody as a result of this bail reform. But bail is racist, see, so apparently it's all worth it. And what was AOC's response to the attack in Wisconsin? The day after the massacre, the day after, she took to Twitter to lobby for more bail reform, and not a single tweet, not a single word about the attack in Wisconsin. These people are truly sick. 6 people are dead. At least 62 are injured. 13 children remain hospitalized and 6 are in critical condition. And purely because the entire thing completely demolishes the media's contrived moral panic hysteria about white supremacy being the biggest terror threat, they'll do whatever it takes to obfuscate, ignore, or bury the truth.
News organizations spent more than a year telling us that a case that had precisely nothing to do with race was somehow a referendum on the civil rights of black people and the rise of white supremacy. So if it turns out those lies, and they are lies, got 6 people murdered? They'll probably be the last to tell us that.
It's absolutely crucial for you to help me fight the war on free speech by supporting me via Subscribe, link in description, and also signing up for my free newsletter at summit.news/newsletter.